It was just last video I said I didn't like making first impression videos, but when you splurge $100 on a brand you haven't tried before, you kinda gotta make a haul video, especially when you do it on Black Friday. Rules of the internet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna start by opening all the packages I have beside me. I'm gonna give a little gist of what I think. Then I'm going to return at the end of the video to give a more concrete impression of the products. And I'm going to take it a step further and say my next video on these products will involve the actual scents of the products, because I think I ordered 12 different scents from this line. So I would like to give that its own breathing room in a video. This brand is Haus of Gloi, and I participated in their Black Friday, which was they had a lot of options depending on what day you bought things. So they did a sale on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. To start with, not everything was like a sale. Some of it was, we're going to add specialized products and a whole line on Friday. They also did different kind of like pumpkin butters on sale. They had candles. Specifically, I bought their Secret Santa kind of bundle. It's a good way to try things out. It's like the winter version of another box that I will explain in a moment. And then I also purchased some of their hair oils on Monday, which I think there was only 2 major sales on Monday, and that was one of them. And it only included their general catalog. Some thoughts on this brand is that the average price of the items is about average, lower end for an indie brand. Obviously, handmade stuff is going to be more expensive than commercial products, but also, like most perfume or scented things, they have a little bit more options than a commercial brand, so that's one advantage of this. And they also have some unique products. Hair oils that are also perfumed is something that I feel is more unique to indie brands. It's not something I've really seen in commercial products. So that was one of the main reasons I decided to go ahead and purchase from this brand, is the options that they had, the prices that they had. And I've been more into hair products, so a perfumed hair product was very appealing to me. And they also had these 2 bundles that I think was a really good price for what is in them, but there's a little caveat that I will get to in a moment. So let's begin by opening things. And before I forget to mention, there was 2 other points that I wanted to make when talking about this brand. I was really attracted to their website. I feel the layout was very easy to find things. They had nice supporting pictures, and one thing I've noticed with indie brands and even some commercial brands is they don't always put the ounces in their descriptions. I don't think 100% this brand did that in every instance, but they generally had things really well labeled out, and you could find what the scents had in them pretty easily. I feel they had a good amount of fragrances and styles to their fragrance. And quite frankly, I am super into indie brands right now, or at least wanting to try indie brands, because holiday scents are more a thing that indie brands do. I just want to smell like a witch at Halloween time, but no commercial brand is going to give me that experience. So we'll see how this brand does with kind of more holiday scent. All right, so let's start here. They add in a few extras. So they have these stickers with their branded logo. They also have Japanese candy. It's a hard candy that was peach flavored, and they also sent in a free sample of lychee milk tea. This is a pretty typical sample size. This is their hair oil bottle. It's a 2 ounce. The label isn't that impressive, but it has all the ingredients. It has the scent and directions for this. I have tried this, and I'm gonna say the 1 to 4 drops would not be enough for my hair, and I have pretty thin hair. So take that how you will. This was $6 on sale, and it's $12 regularly. I'll get back to more of that later. So we have our other ones. Oh, I should say this one is Persephone's Descent. Honeysuckle Lemon Curd. Imp. Also, their packaging is all like paper based, so even their stuff that they put in the box to ship it, it's paper, so there's no plastics that can't be like composted or disposed of very easily. This is Pumpkin Queen. And I'm gonna guess that's Star. Close to that. And let's see if I can find what they included. It has camellia seed, argan oil, coconut, dakin radish seed oil, horsetail grass, orchid, lavender, calendula flower, and some other thing. Now, this little box is something they offer year-round. It's a little tester box. It was $15. I think this, out of everything, is the best value because it includes 4 samples, and the samples alone are $20 for 4 or 5 on their website. And I'm going to say this. That is, considering this is a sample size, $20 is a lot for their samples. It's only going to be a few dollars a wear, but if you get it in this particular box, it would probably be more worth it. Let's see. Body emulsion. It says the essence of our bubbling scrub, free from added colors and fragrances. Vegan. And it's a 2-ounce jar. More stickers. And they have a thank you note. More candy. And this is a soft bubbling scrub. The essence of our bubbling scrub, free, blah, blah, blah. Same as the last one. Just a different type of product. You just don't want to focus on what's in my hand, do you? This is a pumpkin butter. Let's see what else they have. And a little bag with, I believe these are going to be soap samples. Oh no, they're the perfume. So let's see. I got another honeysuckle lemon curd. I wanted to test how their perfume's layered with the hair oil. We have cozy sweater. Twice is nice. Snowflower and Vice. Okay, so no soap samples. I think maybe this one had those included, or I could be misremembering, but we'll find out. This one is $25. It is a Secret Santa version of their like sample box. So let's see what this one has. Oh, I should also mention that I did get to pick the samples of perfume for these boxes, but none of the other products that are in them. Before I forget, these have little stickers have the note for me in them, but you have the option to give delivery instructions. And one thing that they did that was pretty clever for Black Friday is they let you write in if you were done with an order or not. And they waited to put everything together in one order until after you said you were finished shopping. That will save you so much in shipping if you're able to shop on multiple days. So that was a clever way of handling the potential different sales on different days. So here's our soap samples. It is 4 ounces and it's a variety set. Does it say what it has in it? I'm gonna have to look up what samples they said they included with this box. Here's our little samples, and they have other stuff in here. So this one is Apothecary, Edamania, Moondog, Tenabun. I do not pronounce things well. And this one is Star, like the perfume oil. And these are, yeah, the butter bombs. So these go in your bath. And this one is Lily and Linen. And Tranquility. We also have more jars. So, yeah, the jars that they included are the same as the other box. Okay, this one is different. It is a sugar exfoliant, body emulsion, and another pumpkin butter. So you got one more type of product with the Secret Santa one. And this is what I got for $100. It also included shipping, which they do refund you any extra money that the shipping costs. That's another way they try and improve their services. I'll be back in a little bit to tell you how these products wear. I'm going to point this out because I just noticed it. The body emulsion also says it is a scrub down here. So they didn't check their label perfectly for errors. So I've been trying this hair oil over the last few days. I opened it a little bit before I began this video, and I can say this. It recommends 1 to 4 drops. I end up using like double that. I do have kind of long hair, but it's also fairly thin, and it doesn't take a lot of oil to really like noticeably have oil in my hair. So if you have thicker hair, if you don't have the thinnest hair possible, you're going to end up using way more of this than they kind of suggest you need. And this oil is also really, really light, which is nice, but it does limit who can use this product. I have extremely thin hair. It's a product of some vitamin issues I've had in the past, and I'm still working on my hair health. So it's nice to be able to have a product that I don't really need to worry about overdoing it. But it's not going to work for African American women. It's probably not going to work with anyone who has heavily textured hair and needs to regularly oil it. This would work mostly with people who could use a very, very light oil. Now, obviously it's an oil. You can also use it on your cuticles, your hands, and I actually really, really like the lightness of it. It doesn't have any greasy residue. It's super absorbing into the hands. I wouldn't mind using this as a cuticle oil and be able to have it with me. I will also say, could you not focus on my face? Can it focus here? I'm tapping. This has a very thin tip and it does not want to do the thing. So you could easily control the amount of product you're going to use, which is nice. And I also think that this size bottle will last an extremely long time. I have no doubt that I think I spent $50 on 5 bottles. These will last me probably for at least 2 years, maybe 3, depending on how I put on hair oil. It's a lot for what it is, but it's such a nice texture and I think it works really well with my hair. It would be worth it for the oil. Now there's a but at the end of the statement. I got these to be perfume oils. They're supposed to have a fragrance in them. And they do. Don't get me wrong, they do. And just based on this one, it is a very nice fragrance. It's just so light that when you first put it on, you can still smell the oil first. And it dissipates so quickly that if you touch anything, the fragrance just goes away. This isn't even strong enough that I think you could layer it with their other products and have it be long lasting. That makes me worried about the perfume samples, which this is a universal problem with commercial companies, with indie brands. Perfume samples are so expensive for what you get. I need to do a whole rant video on pricing and the current market of perfumes and scents, but it's just a little bit disappointing. I will say it. As a whole, I think the bottles are totally worth it for the oil and the hair aspect of it, but man, I like my smelly things. This is a perfume channel. I only have a few minutes, so let's bust this out. Last time I was talking about the hair oils. I'm going to say the one that I tried first is way worse than the rest when it comes to the fragrance intensity. The other bottles have a lot stronger smell and it does last longer. I don't know if that one's just a dud, if the scent doesn't work well as an oil. Either way, other ones perform better. The next thing, I will say this, it's kind of the nature of vegan, clean, essential oil kind of product. All of the perfumes I've tried, I've probably worn about 3, 4, maybe 5, I didn't count. All of the notes that are in the perfume, they act like top notes. So they last about 30 minutes to an hour. There's no real transition to middle notes, and then it's just straight up vanilla candle wax for almost all of them. Take that how you will. I really like the scents. They're just, it's not gonna perform like a typical perfume that we think of from the store. Keep that in mind when purchasing these kind of products. The next ones, we have our two kind of lotion-y products. Pumpkin butter and body emulsion. According to the website, the body emulsion is supposed to be the lighter of the two. Personally, I think the body emulsion is kind of like a heavy cream, where the pumpkin butter is more oil-based, almost. Like it feels like you put a lotion on and then an oil on top of it. Both of them take a little bit of time to fully absorb into the skin. I will say the body emulsion is very nice and hydrating. The pumpkin butter is going to be less moisturizing. It's almost like you need something underneath of it, and then the pumpkin butter will soften. It's not quite gonna hydrate on its own. So I like both these products. I like the emulsion a little bit better. Then there are two scrubs. First one is the soft bubbling scrub, and the next one is the sugar exfoliant. The sugar exfoliant, I will say, lost the package. Anyway, the sugar exfoliant, I will say, was really, really lovely when I first tried it. It melted down into a very smooth cream, and it had one of the softest but effective scrubs that I felt like I've tried. It wasn't as harsh as some scrubs are. You know, things with sugar in it feels like it's just like raking your skin a bit, and that can't be healthy. But when I tried it a second time, a few days later, maybe 6 days later, It felt way harsher and it took way longer to kind of melt down into that moisturizing element to it. So maybe I just didn't have enough water, or this has a limit to how long it can be open before it starts to kind of like degrade, which that would be a real short time window, but I still kind of like this one better than the other one. The bubbling scrub, I wouldn't pick it as like a everyday, not that you should probably use scrubs every day, but you get what I'm saying. I wouldn't use it as a consistent scrub that I go to. It's like a novelty. It would be a great Christmas gift because you go, oh look, it bubbles, it feels different, it's like texturized in a weird way. It would be a little bit of a gimmick on an exfoliant. So if you have someone that likes receiving spa gifts, that would be a unique one to give them, and I would full encourage that. I just personally wouldn't have it like as a go-to. The next thing will be these little butter bombs. I have mixed feelings on this one too, just because it is super nice when you're getting in the bath, it melts down. Your skin feels so smooth and nice under the water, but also for the effects of it. I think just having Epsom salt on hand would be a more like better investment in all honesty. And this thing also doesn't have quite the like enjoyment factor of a bath bomb, which is like a show, it's all fuzzy, you get the smoothness of the oils and everything in it. You get the color effects. They're a little bit more pricey, but there's also more going on. I would say this is somewhere in the middle of that. It has not really any color to it. It kind of clouds up the water. It feels nice. The scent is nice and strong, but I didn't find the linen scent that nice on the one that I tried. I still have this one, but I want to save it for another time. So I feel like it's just a little much to have as a regularly used product, but I also don't feel it's quite there to be like, here's a gift and it's a treat and it's luxury. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not nice. I'm thinking from a, would I buy this again and use it, and is it worth like trying to put it in a routine, especially when you consider you have to buy it online, it's a one-time use product, and I'm stingy. Yeah, that's where we're at. The only other product I had that I haven't gotten around to trying is these. So I'm trying to get this video out before Christmas. It's been hard. You can probably hear dogs in the background and the construction, and my pain and suffering over the last couple weeks might be slightly audible compared to my other videos. So I'm not gonna review the soap this time. Sorry. I'm just gonna end it here and say we'll get to a scent review in a little bit. Okay, bye.